Hello, this is my Module 5, Understanding My Community. I have a picture of my school right here just to kind of show I work at an elementary school. So this is the front of our building, and most of this module will be about my specific school and then our school district as well. So the known customs and traditions for our school, we have a great PTO. So they put on a lot of different carnivals and music programs. We do picnic out in the patio. We have a raffle. A lot of the things that our PTO is involved in help bring in families and their kids, and then that helps kind of fund some of our extra programs that we have at our school. We also have smaller class sizes. Between the past 2 years, I've had a class size of 13 kids and now 16 kids. So we are fortunate to, have enough staff and personnel on hand that we can accommodate to those kids' needs. Um, because we have a smaller community, most of the family members know a lot of the staff at Lincoln Elementary School, which is my school, and throughout their whole, since we only have one middle school and one high school, the kids just get to familiarize themselves with the parents and teachers of those schools. So a lot of the times when you go into your new school year, you're already familiar with a lot of staff. Um, as for a community, we have a community tractor show and car show. We are a very rural town, so this is our big weekend of the entire year. This is where a lot of visitors come to our town. And this definitely impacts our schools because we have a lot of kids at the high school level and various clubs that are hands-on with these cars, mechanics, or with the tractor show. They have to work the tractor show, and it's part of their class to make sure that they're getting what they need from that. We have a very Christian community with little diversity. So we are constantly needing extra things within our school to kind of bring and be more worldly with our students. We are a middle to lower class community, and Lincoln School, which is the one I work at specifically, is a lower SES school. We have a lot of more challenging kiddos because of the area of our school's location. And then there is an industrial park next to our school that provides jobs for at least half of our parents at our school. The known population characteristics for Ottawa, Franklin County, the USD 290s district, the educational levels less than 9% or less than ninth grade. It was 3.13%. High school grads was 33, and then some college was 25, and bachelor's degree was 12. So our numbers aren't super high with graduation rates. We have approximately 46 males and 54% of females making up our population. As you can see, the last two bullet points, 62.4 are unemployed. We do have a lot of unemployment in Ottawa, especially in my school, Lincoln Elementary. A lot of kids, their parents don't work, and they're needing accommodations for things. And the next slide, it says known communication channels. We do have a FM radio now. It used to be solely AM. That was a big deal when we changed over. But that radio station tries to get in all events for school related things. They also cover some other small towns that are included in our county. Our radio center has a website and obviously the radio channel, and they update on snow days and athletics. That's where a lot of the kids used to, at least before communication just blew up with phones and everything. Our local TV channels would be the ones listed, and we also have a town newspaper. Our school, all of our schools, especially our district, is pretty great about trying to get things out on social media because we know that that's probably the best way to reach all people involved, students and parents and families. We do have open board meetings. Those are every other Monday night, I believe. And then Skyward is our online website. We used to have like Go Egistar, and now we're at Skyward, and that also sends alerts and emails daily to parents and families. The next slide, known community groups. We do have quite a few community groups that are helping out and volunteering in Ottawa. So we have communities in schools, which they are always trying to bring in things to different schools. A lot of the times its main focus is high school because they're trying to get kids engaged in the community so they can kind of pick a career path. the varying influences we have. We have alumni associations. We have community buildings that are used for different organizations for girls and boys. Like an example was Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts or Cub Scouts. We do have a community building, like a rec, that puts on different workshops for kids. Sometimes it can be a certain weekend where maybe it's STEM weekend and you get to make anything, you get to do things. In the summertime, we have a lot of like crafts in the park and then movies in the park where they try to bring families in. Our PTO helps also lead some of these groups and get the word out with the groups um, around our city. The known leadership opportunities that we have the city commissioner, the mayor, city council, and the school board. The people that are influenced with that definitely our superintendent. They are included in all our town related things because they make up a huge portion of our community. The community members and businesses, and then our principals and staff and PTO members are also, we have quite a few members that are on some kind of city council or commissioners group. So they definitely stay involved with the happenings in our town. Our known community leader characteristics. Okay, our new superintendent just of this year, he was our assistant last year. He is actively taking a role in schools. He's making his presence known. He is in our schools frequently. It is not uncommon to see him, which is amazing to have that presence in the building. He's encouraging staff to participate in elections and advocating for ourselves, trying to represent ourselves. He's sending emails out, trying to get the word out about different things happening in the town, state level, and federal levels. Last year he made the time, there were some things going on in all the schools, elementary schools, that he wanted to talk things out. So he made himself available for 2 days and he just sat and wanted to listen to everything people have to say. So he definitely cares about, the staff well-being, the community's well-being, and our students' well-being. Our next slide is the economic conditions. I kind of touched on this briefly before, but Ottawa does have a high unemployment rate. So just some common industries that we have in Ottawa that make up some of the percentages of employment rates. So we have a manufacturing, construction, and retail. Those are the 3 top ones that we have. Our most common position for males is a management, opportunity, production, sales, a lot of repairs, maintenance, things like that. And then our women have a lot of roles in office and administrative support. So and just as I go into different businesses, I can kind of see, I can see how this is the way it is in Ottawa. So that was kind of interesting to do that research on it. As for political structures, our county is widely conservative, and we are actually bordered with Douglas County, which is Lawrence, and they are more so Democratic. So I think these numbers used to be even further apart, but now they're inching a little bit together. But those are the numbers for our political views. And then for those bottom 3 bullets, those are the bullet points for how much percentage we get of funding from the federal, state, and local areas. As for known social tensions, when I was kind of reading up on this specific topic, I was a little confused because Ottawa is a very small town. So if we have competitions, it's normally between like families or something, not necessarily kids and schools. Excuse me. So the majority of our city's population, we don't, like I mentioned before, racially, we are not very diverse. We have majority of white people in Ottawa, and we don't have very many tension between any other races in Ottawa. So as for schools, there's not any competition. The elementary schools at this level, kids and teachers aren't really worrying about the next best thing that's happening at the other schools. I did read that an example of this could be high schools and their different, the different rumors that may go about with that. Well, because we have one high school and one middle school, we don't really have the school-wide tension. Sometimes there are cliques. We notice that a lot in middle school and high school, and bullying is a big deal in not that we see it, but that we try and prevent it. We've had multiple PD days on that. Are constantly getting updates on emails to try and make us aware of that and what we can do. So like I said, with this bottom bullet, it's not that we have any competitions school to school or anything like that with our district-wide. Some extra resources that if you were in Ottawa and you didn't know where to look for certain things, this would be an example. So that first bullet is the City of Ottawa. They're going to keep you updated on all things. There's the utility portion of it that they can talk about. There's our schools, there's the different groups in the community. There's just everything that you wanted to find could probably be found on that City of Ottawa website. The USD 290 website will obviously be more pigeonholed to our schools, not just the City of Ottawa. So you can find out all about our 5 schools, the high school, middle school, and 3 elementary schools. And then we do have an alternative schooling program that's also listed. The school board website, they will also have updates on the happenings of the district, what specific funding is going for, why are we needing funding, what are the next projects that will be up and coming that may affect our community. And then there's that city council website. So again, it's like the minutes of city council meetings, what the City of Ottawa is planning for the next big thing. That's what those websites help with. As for the power structures, our district does provide district leadership teams. So there's a rep from every school that comes and meets, and they talk about this new, which my little picture on that slide is school redesign. The USD 290 district was selected for the Gemini project. And a brief, very brief meaning of that is this Gemini project is allowing schools to completely redesign their way of teaching, thinking, learning, everything. Teachers are able to collaborate more and do things that are out of the box. It's not that you have to follow our Common Core standards. It's not that you have to teach to the test. You're getting the freedom to do whatever. And so we will be doing that over the next couple of years. As for the other power structures from schools, we also have BLT reps. So one person from each grade level meets every other week, and they talk about school-wide issues, and then that can be taken to district-wide. We also have social committees, a SPED team, reading tier groups, and then the Gemini team, like I mentioned, which is that school redesign. Multicultural issues. We do have alternative placements for religious activities. So I interpreted this part after I read about it. This is for certain kids that maybe are in the district, but because we aren't a very diverse district, we don't have a lot of accommodations for them. So some of these things listed are examples of what we do. It is, like I said earlier, it's majority white people. A lot of us are Christians. So we have like a day, meet me at the pole, which is the you pray around the flagpole before the school day. So there's different things like that that help kids stay involved and into their passions and what they already know without an absence from the school. And these other programs are also put in place, which most people are familiar with. The power structure, again, I listed everything that came to mind. Not all of those are specific to things, but we do have power structures within our own school. We have 5th grade leaders that get to buddy up and help other students within the school. So that's kind of a responsibility and something kids get to look forward to as they are finishing up elementary school. We have team level meetings, IIT meetings, and wraparound meetings. All of those are, you're either with your team, so there's 4 2nd grade teachers at my school, so I will be collaborating with them. I may be collaborating with one person from each grade level, so maybe I represent my 2nd grade team. And then our buddy classrooms where we get to bring both, like a 5th grade class and a 2nd grade class get to come together, and the teachers get to collaborate on things like that. The BLT meetings I talked about in the previous slide, and then DLT would be district leadership team that we also talk about in that previous slide. As for those last 3 bullet points, those are just reps from obviously different schools and different subjects that come together to kind of discuss what's working, what's not, what do we need to do. This public opinion surveys are sent. These surveys are, they help people get a feel for what needs to happen with our school, with our district, with our town. So some of these programs help with funding. Some of them help with just boosting morale, and then teachers and communication and how that's going to work. And this last slide is also more about the surveys. We take those surveys and we brainstorm areas of improvement, adjusting for what needs to happen next year, and then different things that we could bring in for right now. So that concludes my Module 5.